How fast can you see the antagonist in every GTA game? An antagonist is a bad guy who our characters work for and have to deal with. This can be a main antagonist like Tenpenny, or it could be a side one like Pulaski. My timer begins when I start a new game and stops when any part of an antagonist's body shows up on the screen during a cutscene. It could even be a pixel of his arm, for instance. I'll also be cutting any loading screens to make it a fair comparison. Let's begin with the original Grand Theft Auto. So, here is how GTA works. In this game we have chapters. To advance the story you gotta get a certain amount of points. After you do, you unlock the next chapter. How do you get points? You could pass missions, which is slow, or you could instead cause a lot of mayhem. There's a certain glitch I can use which could give me millions, and it only takes a few minutes. The only antagonist we see in this game is Samuel Deaver, who we meet at the end of chapter 5. To get to him we gotta get 3 million points. So we start from chapter 5, you saw me wasting myself, which puts me closer to my destination. I wanna be here because I can pick up an SMG from here, a very powerful weapon which is gonna be very useful, and I need to pile up cars right next to each other, as close as I can get them. I gotta pile up at least 15 from my testing, 16, 17, 18 works as well, but less than 15 is very difficult to achieve what I want. And what I want is to get lots of points. I want to explore these cars. Something else important here is how the wanted system works in this game. If I jack a car, there's a very high chance the police could see me. So instead what I'll do is I'll shoot, the jobber is gonna get out, and then I'm gonna get the car and pile it up right next to the other cars. This way the cops are not gonna see me, and if they see me it's pretty much over, because once they see me more and more are gonna come and they're gonna interrupt what I'm doing here. And what I'm doing here is art. Look at this. Woohoo. Also, I gotta consider the hitboxes in this game. They are atrocious, absolutely awful hitboxes. One bump and I could ruin my whole setup here. This is a very difficult trick. It took me about 40 attempts, but I did manage to do it. Also gotta make sure not to fire too much at the pedestrians, because I need some bullets for the actual trick, to explode other cars, because yes, the whole point is to explode other cars and make a chain reaction, which will be splendid. Alright, I should do it. I have lots of cars. It's probably about 16, let's explode them, and I have to stay close so I can see them all, and there we go. We got 6.5 million, which is way more than enough. I need 3 million, so let's get here in the bug, and I'm gonna get to this location straight over here, follow the arrow. I know where he's gonna spawn exactly, because I have done this before, and he's gonna spawn right here. I hate driving in this game, it's so atrocious. Let's get out and talk to Deaver and stop my timer. As soon as the cutscene starts, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Woohoo! It's a pretty nifty trick you guys can use in your playthroughs to advance the story faster. But let's move on to the first expansion, London 69, in which, as you guessed it, I'll use the same exact trick. So from here, let's get this car and go straight up. Take a right. Ugh, the bumping. The bumping so bad. Right over here. And this is where I can get my SMG or machine gun. I'll do the same exact thing. This is a much easier task to do here, because this is a small street. It's jam-packed with cars. And the police cannot do much to me here, because they don't spawn very often, they spawn very rarely, so I can just jack the vehicles, which is gonna speed this up, and I'll have lots of bullets at the end. This, by the way, is chapter 3, and at the end of chapter 3 we can see the antagonists, who are called the Crisp Twins. Isn't this beautiful, guys? Look at it! This is art, beautiful! Okay, there we go, let's explode them, and the good thing about this trick, the antagonists spawn right next to me. Right next to my setup location, which took 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Much faster. Unfortunately, in the second expansion we do have an antagonist, but we only hear about him, we don't see him. Which means I cannot complete this challenge in the second expansion, so it's disqualified. As for GTA 2, the whole point of GTA 2 is to work for different gangs and make them hate each other. There's no actual real antagonist in this game, which means this game is also disqualified. So we can move on to the 3D universe with GTA 3. This will be quite easy, because once we start, the loading screen disappears and we see this, the bank job. You might think I'm gonna stop my timer at Catalina, haha, but no, Miguel is also an antagonist, this dude. We saw him in 7 seconds, we see Catalina in like 15 or something, I'm not sure. But I stopped my timer as soon as I saw the first antagonist. Let's move on to Vice City, and as you guess over here, I think it's gonna be a bit faster. So let's go skip the loading screen and we're gonna see Sonny Forelli in 3 flippin' seconds. Oh yeah, it's getting shorter and shorter. Is GTA Advance gonna be even shorter than this? Very important here, by the way, I'm gonna spoil a hidden antagonist in this game. If you have not played this game, make sure to skip it because I'm gonna spoil the antagonist, okay? Let's go. Start new game, jump start, and we see... Bam! We saw the shoulder of Vinny, because yes, Vinny is an antagonist, a hidden antagonist. This is why I gave you a spoiler warning for this game. And this took 4 seconds, man. Wow, this could have been so much better. It's okay though, second spot so far is pretty good. Let's move on to GTA San Andreas, the best game in the franchise. Alright, let's go, let's start new game. Skip loading screen, of course. We're gonna spawn in the airport, which we have a cutscene here, but it's pretty short, so we are good. Sweet is gonna call us for a funeral. We gotta get to a funeral. Because our mommy, or moms, multiple moms, got killed somehow, multiple moms. So let's go here, this is the antagonist, we cannot actually see them in the car from here. We saw Hernandez, who is not actually an antagonist, but a few seconds afterwards we saw Tenpenny and Pulaski in the car. And this took us less than 30 seconds, woohoo! Alright, let's continue on with Liberty City stories. In this game the main antagonist is seen like once or twice, I think twice in the whole game, but before that we have a secondary antagonist, and that's Vincenzo. He's gonna make our life hell in the future, so let's see him. So it's more important, we talk on the phone. We're gonna take a taxi to the Leone mansion. I'm gonna skip the loading screen here. And here's Salvatore Leone, who's gonna introduce us to the antagonist. Salvatore should be the antagonist because he introduced us to the antagonist, so kinda he's the antagonist, but no. He is a friend, he's a boss, and we work for him through the whole game, but Vincenzo is the actual antagonist, and it took us a little over a minute to see him. Very good, let's move on to Vice City stories. So let's go, new game, start new game, skip loading screens, and we're gonna get into a truck. The antagonist here is, of course, Jerry Martinez. And he is in this building, we just gotta go through here and see him. I'm gonna get out, I'm big fans. Here's the marshal, our boss basically. And the big boss is right over here, this is Jerry Martinez. Yo Jerry, I hate your guts, die in a fire. Let's move on to GTA 4. This game is gonna be a bit complicated because we don't see the antagonist early on, we see him after a few missions, and the first antagonist is Vlad. We see Mikhail and we see some other hidden antagonists later on, but Vlad is the first one. The first mission he makes an appearance in is It's Your Call. So of course we gotta watch the whole first cutscene, which is pretty lengthy by the way. It's a bit over 4 minutes. After this we spawn in, we gotta go backwards to our safe house. I know a shortcut. I go through here and I gotta stop at our safe house. And here a very lengthy cutscene plays, which is not good for me of course, cause this is wasting so much time. But after we're set free, we're gonna go outside as quick as possible and go to the mission, which is It's Your Call. Yeah, sure. Oh, I'm keeping this in the video. I don't care, this wasted a few seconds, but I'm not repeating this. This was spectacular. But it's the mission, guys. It's Your Call, and we're gonna see him in a few seconds, not immediately. We gotta watch a bit of the cutscene. We talk to Roman, we talk to Mallory, and... Vladdy boy! Hello, buddy! I hate your guts, more than I hate Martinez. So good job, asshole. Let's move on to The Lost and Damned. I'm gonna spoil a hidden antagonist here, guys, so spoiler warning for you. So the antagonist here is Billy, but before Billy we see somebody else. Who is that? Let's start a new game, start a cutscene, and who do we see? We see an arm in the background, and who's that? This is Brian, of course, guys. Brian is an antagonist, and he shows his true colors later on. Alright, let's move on to the Battle of Gay Tony. The antagonist here is very clear, we just gotta watch the whole first cutscene, which is pretty lengthy, the whole thing. Almost at the end of the first cutscene we can see the antagonist, but this cutscene is huge. As you can see, almost 5 minutes so far. I'm talking to Tony, I scold him, and we see Rocco! Woohoo! Hello Rocco, I hate you too. Let's move on to Chinatown Wars, in which we also have a hidden antagonist. Make sure to skip this portion if you have never played this game. So the antagonist here, we're gonna see in the first mission, but first we're gonna watch a lot of cutscenes, guys. The first cutscene is huge in this game. The first cutscene is like 5.5 minutes. Look at this, this is insane. I just gotta go to shore, and of course I'm not skipping cutscene. If I could skip this cutscene, dude, this would take like a minute, but no, it's gonna take a lot longer. I cannot even skip the dialogue, it has to skip itself. So after 3 of these, this took 6.5 minutes. After that, I gotta get here, and we're gonna see an antagonist who is, we see a pixel of him on the right side, boom. This guy is Kenny. Kenny is an antagonist. Yeah, a hidden antagonist. This is why I gave you a spoiler warning. If you got spoiled, it's on you. Alright guys, it's time for a big boy. It's time for GTA 5. Oh boy, do you know how much I gotta play to see the antagonist? A crap ton, guys. We don't see him in the first many missions. So who is the antagonist in this game? Devin, Steve, Way, Molly, and somebody else. Stretch is the first antagonist we see, but to get to Stretch, we gotta play a lot of missions. He first appears in the long stretch, obviously, but before that we have the prologue, Franklin and Lamar, Repossession, Complications, Father and Son, Chop, Marriage Counseling, Friend Request, and then the last mission is the long stretch. As you can see, this took forever, guys. So after I talk to my lovely Auntie Denise with all that ass, I gotta get out, and after I do, we're gonna see Stretchy Boy. Yo, Stretchy Boy, I hate you. You took an hour and a half, man. Wasting my time, you butt munch. But yeah, anyway, an hour and a half, which by the way does not put it on last spot. No, no, no. London 61 and GTA 2 are disqualified, which puts them on last spot. This is not last, guys. What the hell? But anyway, congratulations to Vice City Advance, Lost and Damned, and GTA 3. Less than 10 seconds for each. GTA 4, GTA 5, London 61, and GTA 2, you suck. If you guys don't wanna suck too, you can leave a like on this video and let me know what I should touch next in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to Olavili, Karin, Case Nice, Sean Pasca, Hirsash, Chimunish Prelip, Faith, Shinte, Bad Boy Hero, Xesi, Jebediah, Redux, Versetti, Gwen, Jim Francescos, and everybody else.